you can't hear me. There you go. How is it going, guys? Give me a moment as I'm just getting everything set up here, just getting the camera set up. As you can see, it's looking a little bit not so good at the moment. So hang on just a sec. I want that. That looks about right, I suppose. And then okay, I think that'll work for now. We may have to adjust that. We'll see how it goes. How are you guys all doing? I know it's been a little while. The last stream was the charity stream, so just once again want to say thank you to everyone who came out for that. Hang on just a moment. Texting with my mom. Okay. Alright, so excuse that for a moment. Yes, so today we've got two kits we're going to build because last week I was planning on doing, like after the charity stream, later on in the week, I was planning on doing a couple of live streams, but just because of the schedule and my son still, just today he started going back to like his school like full time, but because of coronavirus over here, last week was just kind of, the schedule was kind of crazy. I couldn't really fit in or make time to do live streaming last week, so here we are. Should have some good time this week to live stream a couple of builds with you guys. So we're doing these couple builds today, the Goof Custom and the Eldora Daughters. I keep wanting to say Eldora Brute, but we already did that one. The Eldora Daughters kit is really super simple and really shouldn't take much time at all to build that one. So that should be easy enough. Alright, let me see here. Just wanted to get that. The problem with my lighting here, like the past week and a half or so, like everything's been going wrong with my lighting. First, my big light, this ring light that I use like for reviews and stuff, the tripod on it, like the fastening bolts or screws, the like tightening screws on the tripod to raise it up and down for this light, both the screws and that I guess are stripped or something. The nuts, I should say. I don't know, whatever. Anyway, they're stripped, so like no matter how much I tighten it, and then it just goes past, and it just, anyway, it doesn't work. So can't raise that up and down. And then the light up above here went out and is still out, so that's why I'm kind of having a problem lighting this area here, because the light up there is out. And Joel Wismer, thank you for your support there over on YouTube. I'll get around to saying hello to everyone here in a moment. But yeah, so the light up there is out, and it's an LED lamp. So I don't know what the problem with that is. I guess it's just broke. I don't know. It's not like I can change the light bulb. But then this light here, the light bulb went out, and that was easy. I just got a new light bulb and changed that. But For some reason, like my lighting's all cursed these days. So yeah, without that overhead light, it's gonna be a little bit trickier to light this building area here, but hopefully should be okay. And Jagan, thank you for your super chat there as well. So were you painting an RG Sazabi in the background in another video? Any news on that? Yes, I am. I'm in the middle of painting the RG Sazabi. Actually, all of the base painting is done. I just have to, I'm now just kind of going ahead with clear coating, gloss coating some of the parts, and then so I can move on with the detail painting and pen aligning and all that stuff. So yeah, that's RG Sazabi is something I'm working on for a commission. I am doing a work in progress video on that though, you guys. So the work in progress video will probably come a little bit later. It'll be a pretty simple one because I'm not really doing anything too special with that. It's just a custom paint job. Also, what PSI do you prefer for airbrushing? I just got an Iwata Eclipse. Based on what I know, what other people spray, I spray a little bit lower than what other people do. I think most people spray like between 20 and 30, I think, but I usually spray probably more closer to around 15. I don't know, it just feels more comfortable for me. Like 20 and anything over 20 just feels too crazy, like I'm just spraying way too much, like it's just too hard. I don't know. But just test to see what's comfortable for you. I mean, as long as you're getting good results, that's what you need. You can't go too low because then the paint finish will not be looking very good. But you don't want to go too high because then you'll just be like blowing your part away. And also, Kale Sponseller. Sorry for probably butchering your first and last name there. Apologize for that. But thank you for the super chat and just want to say hi and shout out. I appreciate that. Shout out to you as well. Thank you. And P.S. Xeon Love. Yes, thank you. Got a cool, awesome Xeon kit here to build today. Alright. And Patrick, how's it going? I want a 2.0 MG Goof custom so bad. Yeah, I wish that Bandai would make a 2.0 Goof custom based off of the 2.0 Goof. It would be nice, eh? I agree. Maybe someday. It'll probably end up being like a P Bandai thing, like they've done with like the Dwaj Kai and like the what's that? The Rigazi custom. Those kits that have just come out as P Bandai kits. Probably what will happen ultimately if they were to do that these days. I don't know. Could be wrong. But let's see. Alright. Let's brighten things up a little bit. Turn the brightness down because the manual was looking blown out when I was just using that for example, but now the actual parts, it's not quite so bright. Also, Buffalo Jack, and who's watching here on Twitch? Gundam Yatham, Oak Tree, Panadol, I think maybe. Striker, Hot Pizza Rolls. Hi guys. Imagine they made a PG Sazabi. You know, everyone's waiting for that, for the PG new to come out someday. And, you know, if Bandai ever made a PG new, then I'm sure everyone's going to be wanting a PG Sazabi. Because after the PG Unicorn came out, then everyone was craving a PG Shinanju. And personally, I think I've mentioned this maybe in a past video before, but if there was any other PG2, I mean, if I could have any say in what the next PG ends up being, I would be cool with a PG Shinanju. That would be pretty cool. It'd be huge and expensive for sure. I almost forgot this polycap in here. So I was just mentioning earlier that the Eldora Doctress kit is very simple, but this kit as well, the Goof Custom, HG also. Relatively simple HG kit here. But it looks quite solid, just based on kind of like my first impression of the kit. When I was unboxing the kit, I was thinking, man, it really reminds me a lot of the Zakuto F2 HG kit. Now, I think they came out around the same time. I haven't checked yet to be sure, but I think if I'm right about that, they probably came out around the same time, and so that's why they look kind of similar now. Not as in they're sharing any parts, because the designs are so different that they wouldn't be able to actually share any parts, but just the way the parts look and just like the way the kit is engineered looks very similar, I think, to the Zakuto F2. So, all right. Since the charity stream last week, I have left some of the stuff here on the screen. Also left the alerts on. I don't know if you guys think I should do anything with the alerts, tailor them a little bit more, because there's still like alerts going off for like people liking and sharing the stream and stuff like that. But if it's like too much alerts going on for you guys, if they keep like popping up and it's like annoying anyone, then let me know. I can maybe turn off some of those. Still want to keep the alerts on for people who are like using the super chat and stuff. But all right, so we got all the. Oh, I'm actually supposed to put the backpack on the body first before I attach the thruster bells. Oh well, I think it'll work out just fine. That just goes on there, and we got this polycap double ball joint there for the neck, and these little guys go over the polycaps here on the shoulder. You're supposed to actually put them on later in the construction, but I went ahead and pulled them out to just put together with the body here. You put them on later once you actually are putting like the arms on the body, once all the upper body is all done. But there you go. Definitely gonna want to paint in some silver or something on the back side of that clear orange part, so that's a little bit more apparent. But the clear orange part there on the chest does look nice. Not like almost no surface detail on these parts, so not gonna have a ton of surface detail, but yeah, still, I mean, I think just the look of this kit is really nice. Compared, well, hang on, sorry. Not compared to, but I mean just, yeah, compared to the MG. It's not too often that you can say this, but there are certainly some cases where the HG kit is actually nicer than the MG. And this is one of those cases where I don't necessarily think the MG is bad, but the HG is nice. I think it's probably just a more solid kit in general, and also what do I want to say? More solid, and the proportions are better. That's what I mean. It looks better. Just the proportions, the design looks better, I think. So alright, we got the piping part here, which is supposed to go in like that, and then bring that around. It's the same like with the origin kits, where just you've got like some kinks in the pipe there, so that's where you need to bend it. Not too bad. Not a bad option for this. Then I'm supposed to just leave that there like that for the moment, and take this part onto here. Yesterday or the past weekend anyway, at some point during the weekend, my wife and I decided that we wanted to rewatch all the Marvel movies in chronological order. So we started off with Captain America last night, and so that means we've got what, 16, 17 more to go to watch them all. But for whatever reason, we just thought, oh yeah, let's just for fun, I guess. So that'll take probably like a month or so. Uh, Hello from Shoreline, Washington. How's it going, Mike? Hope you're alright there in Washington. As I've heard, I haven't been keeping up with the news super well, what's everything going on in the U.S., because there's a lot going on in the U.S. But Washington has been hit particularly hard with kind of coronavirus, so hopefully your area is pretty safe. I know the good thing about the United States is that it's very spread out, right? Hang on. I mean, just there's a lot of physical, like, natural space. Whereas, like, here in Korea, I mean, it's a very small country, so everything and everyone's pretty closely packed together. That's kind of like a challenge that we have. But in the US, I mean, at least you, like, if, for example, there's a coronavirus hotspot in one city, the next city is, like, miles and miles away, right? So it's probably less. I'm sure there's still a lot of it though, but there's probably compared to here, I'm sure there's probably less like inner city travel. Here, like it was very easy to spread like to different cities, because people are just traveling to different cities all the time because it's not that far in between. Pennsylvania shut down most businesses now. Kale said. Yeah, I'm from Illinois, and so that's where my parents are still living there in Illinois, and yeah, Illinois is pretty shut down as well. I think I was supposed to have, oh, not that, this, and not that there. Oh, so that's why I didn't have that ball joint there. Should pay attention to the manual. I forgot this little poly cap in there. Take this apart like that. Almost 60 cases in my county alone. Oh man. So how many of you guys are like actually locked down at home? Shaka, how's it going there in Spain? Can't sleep. The whole quarantine is starting to get to me, man. Yeah. Let's see. As a truck driver, you're enjoying the light traffic? Well, that's looking on the bright side. Yeah, I saw some news report where they were showing like the LA traffic, where the traffic's like typically like crazy bad, like during rush hour or whatever, but it was like just nothing there. Or like very light traffic in comparison to how it usually typically is. Yeah, I'm sure it's got to be pretty weird. Like, I've been seeing some stuff that they're showing on the news or whatever, but I'm sure like just to see it like normally on the ground, just to like to go to like the normal places you usually go. It's like driving past the normal places where you usually see people, and like just like going to the store and everything, and just like I'm sure it's a pretty surreal thing, just like seeing so many less people around and like empty shelves at the supermarket and stuff. I've seen pictures. I kind of have my doubts as to like if like every shelf on every supermarket in America is like just completely bare. I don't think, from what I would expect, I wouldn't think that it's like that crazy. That like the pictures we've seen of like empty store shelves is something that like it happens, but it's not like every shelf everywhere. It's just like the big, that's just making the news because it's a kind of shocking scene, right, to see stuff like that. But I don't know, you guys who are there in the US, are you actually experiencing that or what? Not to make like light of the situation, but I've seen people sharing different memes and stuff around on Facebook about like the social distancing basically not being a problem for us modelers, because we're just kind of always socially distanced, just working on models and stuff, right? So I thought that was pretty funny and pretty true. Alright, let's see. I work in a bike shop in Orlando. We are backed up. Uh, a bike shop in Orlando, eh? I have a like second cousin who works in a motorcycle shop in Florida. I don't know if it's in Orlando though. And I'm not. I wouldn't expect it to be the same one that you work at, but uh, still trying to enjoy the Corona-cation. Kale. Yes. Let's see. People are shopping with families and walking around like nothing is wrong. All empty shelves in California. Oh, well, yeah, I would expect that there are probably a lot of people walking around like there's nothing wrong. And I mean, it's a really fine line, and I think from what I've seen, it's just kind of getting blown up a lot in opposite ways. A lot of people are saying like, "Oh, there's nothing wrong. You should just go about your day and like you normally would," which I think that's not right. And then like some people who just like are going crazy with about like stockpiling supplies and like thinking that it's like the end of the world. And obviously that's not right either. You have to like be smart about it. I'm sure I don't need to tell you guys this. We're as you're all modelers, gunplay enthusiasts. We're all the smartest people, right? So I'm sure I don't need to tell you guys, but it seems pretty obvious to me that you shouldn't completely, like transform your life to being completely, scared to do anything, but you should still, take precautions, right? So, yes. Hoping you guys are all staying safe. Especially those of you guys who do have, dangers in your area. Now, let's see. Okay, that seems like it's like too tight there, but I guess that's right. But it seems like something's not right in there. Should be right. Let's see. Does this part have necessarily an up or down? I don't think so. Huh? I don't know. Should be right. Oh, wait a minute. I don't know. Some stores have had police at stores to stop fights. Oh yeah, that's crazy. It's also weird to me because already terrified of everything. So no change necessary here. Well, I hope you can get over that. It's really weird because like here in Korea, and like it's different in the area where I live because the province that I live here in Korea has been like the least affected, which is good for me, good for my family and the people in my area. But it has been like so much less of an interruption to life here in Korea. I think like as like compared to like the U.S. Now, and then like and in parts of Europe like Italy and Iran as well. I mean, I think it's kind of made for us Westerners, even though I'm not in the West, but still a Westerner. Easy to forget that it's also a big problem in Iran as well. But anyway, yeah, it didn't really seem to be like that big of like a thing here in Korea. Like even though it was like Korea, like after China was one of the countries that has been like affected very early on and to a pretty large degree. But like places like a lot of events and stuff have been canceled. In some places like schools have been closed for a while just out of caution, but like it hasn't been that huge. Like nowhere has been locked down at all. Like we've all like been able to go out like if you want. It just like people have just been cautious and wearing masks and stuff. And Like a lot of people have not been going out, I suppose, but for the most part, anytime I go out, it seems like pretty normal. It's just more people than usual are wearing masks. So it's kind of weird that like Korea has been hit, pretty hard, and there are plenty of cases around. But maybe I guess if there were more cases in my area, maybe I would notice more people like not wanting to go out. Maybe it's different in different parts of Korea, I guess. But I don't know. There certainly does seem to be less hysteria as far as I can tell, though, too. Like on both sides of the people who are taking it too strong one way or the other. Like, oh, I don't need to do anything, or oh, I need to prepare for the apocalypse. There's just been like shortages with masks. Also, the toilet paper thing hasn't been a thing here in Korea, and I didn't even like really understand what that was. I had to ask a friend like, what's the deal with the toilet paper? Because that hasn't been a thing here at all. And apparently, I guess the toilet paper hoarding is people are scared that like because the toilet paper is like manufacturers, or I guess, or are in China, and so like people were worried that if trade gets totally shut down, that you won't be able to get toilet paper. Is that correct? Am I understanding that correctly? Where is this piece that I need? Huh? Ah, it's blue. I was expecting it to be gray. But yeah. So I think I mentioned this in the stream last week. But yeah, I didn't really understand the toilet paper thing. People are going to the beach because they're not working. Yeah, I guess like if you don't got to go to work, then you want to like enjoy your time a little bit, I guess, and people will just want to go to the beach. Toilet paper wasn't a thing here either. Shaka, where are you at? You're Germany? Is that right? Forgive me for not remembering. I have a terrible memory. It's mostly in the US. I'd seen it was a big thing in Australia too, right? The kids are back. Yeah, so my kids are back in school. Sort of. They're not like totally back quite yet. Officially, all the schools here start back up on April 6th, next week. Or what's that? Another 2 weeks, week and a half from now? What is that? I don't know. So no, everyone's not back yet, entirely, but at least for my kids, because they go to like kind of, my daughter's is like a daycare and my son's is like a preschool kind of thing. It's a little bit different here in Korea. They have different names for it, sort of, but yeah, that's basically what it is. And so because like the kids' parents need to go to work, still need to go to work and stuff, like the preschools and daycares and stuff are all still able to take care of kids this week and next week anyway, until they start back officially. So anyway, yeah, my kids are back, but they're not like technically back like in session startup, but they don't really have that either. Anyway, yeah, they're going there anyway. That's the point. And so I'm able to get some more work done this week, which is good for me. All right. Yeah, I really like the proportions of this kit, and it does really capture the look of the Goof Custom, I think, better than the MG does. I saw a comment earlier, someone asking if I could compare this to the Goof R35. I don't have that kit to compare it to, so I won't be able to do that comparison for you guys. But I do have the MG, so I will be able to at least do like a side-by-side comparison with this and the MG for you guys in the review. And then the Reese Boys was asking, he said, I have this kit in my backlog. Will you be doing a review for the HGUC Gouf custom? Yeah. So once this is built up, then I can work on the review for it. Probably tomorrow. Today, in the afternoon, like in the morning, now it's morning here, I'm just working on building this. And the Eldora Brute, so I did it again, the Eldora Daughters. And then once these are built, today in the afternoon, I'm working on a new Zaku News video. But over the past 2 weeks, there hasn't really been a whole lot of news. So I think the Zaku News video should be a pretty quick production this afternoon because there's not a whole lot of news to go through. And also, of course, this past weekend, the Nachin contest wrapped up. So I got an email from Moi-san, the Nachin tank designer, who was also helping out with the judging. He emailed me already his choices for the winners, but I need to pick my choices as well and figure out who the winners are going to be for the Nachin contest. So I don't think I'll have that ready to announce to you guys today, but maybe work on that tomorrow as well. So like review this guy, review the Eldora Daughters, and also do the review or the Nachin contest results. So that'll be the plan, things to work on tomorrow. Now, also, in other news, I've finished the MG Barbatos, except for the last coat of like the final top coat on it. I decided to do a little bit of weathering on it, so I did cover that. I did record that, so you guys will see, and there'll be one more work in progress video for the MG Barbatos. That'll include just a little bit of weathering on the Barbatos, and then the main focus of the work in progress will be on the character figure that I have, that I'm going to build along with that, the little resin figure that'll be going with that. So the resin figure is not done, so maybe hopefully today I'll have some time to just later on just to spray the final top coat on the MG Barbatos, so that'll be completely done, and get started working on the character figure along with the news video today. So that's the plans for today, and then tomorrow work on the reviews for these guys and the Nachin contest results. Kale, thank you once again. I said, I just finished watching Thunderbolt December Sky. I wanted to know, are you a fan? Yeah, I've still not finished that though, actually. So I've not finished watching Thunderbolt actually. So, but yeah, from what everything I've seen, it's awesome. Yes, of course, really cool. I'm a little surprised that Bandai hasn't made a MG Gouf custom. Yes, Andrew. I don't know if you heard, Andrew, earlier we were talking about this a little bit, that just was saying that we were hoping that Bandai would make a 2.0 Gouf custom kit at some point. And yeah, I hope so. You'd think they would have to eventually. I mean, it's got to be a relatively popular design. They made it enough to make an MG and an HGUC kit, and an HG kit, 1/44 scale kit, even before this. So that's why I was short on hand covers for the right hand, because I put too many of the hand covers in with the left hand parts. Anyway, so we do have enough hand covers to cover all of the hands. So you got 2 closed fists, 2 holding hands, and also the 1 open hand, which is awesome. So some nice hand option parts for this guy. Let's put that there. So there's upper body all done. Very cool. I do have the 1/44 scale kit is around somewhere. I may have to find that. I'm not sure exactly where it is. Yeah. If I it's around there somewhere. If I can find it, I'll do a comparison in the review with the old 1/44 scale kit as well. The just regular HG, not the HGUC. Alright. Atlas Gundam, so sexy. MG at last Gundam. Why are you guys saying at last Gundam? Is it political correct to say nubs on the Psychozaku? Alright. Let's see. Oh man, sorry guys on Twitch. I have the Twitch chat open here as well, but it was not automatically scrolling, so it was just stuck. So I thought no one was saying anything on Twitch, but it wasn't scrolling automatically. Sorry, that's weird. Let me just try to get caught up on what some people were saying on Twitch then. He said, Wing Wolf said, I finished my first full MG, one that I had built before. I had it half finished last Friday, the Death Scythe Hell EW version. I've yet to build any MG Death Scythe kit, personally. Have I? No, I'm pretty sure I've not. Yeah. Oh yeah, I found the thick Rinko customized. Careful to say. Okay. Anything else? I was supposed to, Gundam Yatham said, I was supposed to be traveling to Korea in a month, and that got canceled. It's good to hear that things are getting better there, so I get a chance. Yeah, things are pretty chill here at the moment. I mean, the cases, I think the overall cases were going down. And then just recently, like last week or something, the cases like spiked up again, just because apparently that all like came from this one particular church that I didn't hear like all the details from my wife. My wife was telling me about this, that like at the church, I guess like they were going around like spraying some like salt water in people's mouths as like a cleansing thing to help keep people cleansed from the virus or whatever, but from all the people's like mouths all breathing on this thing that they were using to spray the water in everyone's mouths, like it just ended up giving a bunch of people the virus somehow. So pretty crazy story and like pretty ludicrous story, but yeah, something like that is apparently what happened here. Alright. Alright. There we go. Alright, so goof legs now. Kale asked, do you prefer to put the clear piece on a Zaku or leave the mono eye open? You mean like the clear visor on a Zaku? Honestly, most of the time I prefer it without. I think it looks better without the clear visor on the Zaku, just the open space and then just the Zaku's mono eye in there. This particular kit doesn't have that, but I know what you mean. Unlike the different Zaku 2.0 kits and stuff like that, the Zaku Exceed heads as well, like the Zaku heads. I have one over there, kind of hard to reach at the moment, but yeah, the Zaku Exceed heads as well. I kind of prefer them without the clear part on them. Just asking because I did a 2.0 Zaku with the open eye. Yeah. With the 2.0, I also prefer it just open without covering that with the clear part. I think it's just easier to see the mono eye in there, and it looks cool. But you can actually see the mono eye better in there, I think. Alright. So, did anyone check for sure if exactly yes or no if this kit and the HGUC Zaku 2 F2 did come out right around the same time or not. Because I'm curious, and I feel like they did. I feel like they must have, but I haven't checked yet. I feel like they probably came out like in the same year, or at least within a year of each other. Suppose I could check myself, but let's see. Then we need this one here, and that one. Decided to watch here. Seems a bit more ahead here than on YouTube. Yeah, Blue Griffin Zora. Yes. The Twitch strat and just the Twitch stream and chat are slightly ahead of the YouTube chat. There's less delay. I have a feeling I could probably fix that on YouTube. There's probably some setting on YouTube. I think I can change that. I think I can change the latency, right, so that there will be less delay on YouTube, I believe. Maybe I'll look into that. Possibly. If it's something that's really of concern to people. But it's not that big of a deal, right? The Zaku 2 F2 came out the same year as the Goof Custom. Yes, okay, cool. Yeah, I'd imagine so. I have plenty to do. I'm moving house this week. Oh, Brian, you're moving house? That's fun. Don't envy you there. And not looking forward to doing that myself. Because for like the first, or like from 2010, I came to Korea in 2010. So from 2010, I think probably until 2015. So I think for 5 years, yeah, I moved once a year to a different apartment. So I just think, yeah, basically, I was like in a different apartment every year. Yeah, that was not fun. But for like the past few years, we were at one apartment we were at for a couple of years, like 2 years, and then we moved here, and we've been here now I think for 3 years. So it's been nice to not have to move for a while. But next year, moving to an entirely new country, moving back to the US. So yeah, that'll be fun. Let's see. When did we put those parts together? Somewhere. I missed a couple of steps there, or I missed a step here. And the part for the thigh. It's just those two pieces stuck together. Okay. Come on, polycap. It's like when moving, when moving internationally. So just in case any of you guys are interested, there's a couple of different options that you can do, like to move all your stuff, because like to move your entire life, obviously there's a lot of stuff that you have to take, or not, I guess, depending on how much stuff you want to like just get rid of, sell, throw away, and then like have to rebuy in like wherever you're going. But for all the stuff that we do want to take, like if we were taking a lot of stuff, for example, you can send it all like in different ways, like all the stuff that you want to send. But one of the options that you can do is just like just renting a full like shipping container, or like half a shipping container, something like that. And what I've heard some people do also is share a shipping container. So like if you can find it like another family who is also moving like around the same general time to the area, you can like split the cost of it by sharing with someone. But obviously renting a full shipping container is pretty expensive. I think it was like, but like honestly it's not as expensive as I would have expected. I think it was like around $2,000, $2,000 or $3,000, which honestly is not, I think, that bad. It's less than I would have expected, to be honest. But depending on how much stuff you want to take, like if you're not taking that much stuff, it probably could still be cheaper to just send stuff like a few like big boxes of stuff, right? Would probably cost you $1,000 or $1,500, something like that for shipping. It'll still be a lot of money, but it'll be cheaper. You don't need to spend quite that much for a full container. But I'm really tempted, and we haven't, like with my wife, we haven't even gotten to the point where we're discussing this in too much detail yet, because it's still such a ways off. But I'm feeling tempted that I would prefer to just rent a container, then I just don't have to worry about it. I feel like it's more expensive, but then I don't have to worry so much. Like, I'm sure that'll be big enough to take whatever we want to take. I don't have to worry about like, okay, do I really want to take this or not? And I really have to stress about like what stuff I really want to take or not, or what stuff I want to sell or wait to get rid of, all that stuff. So I think it would just be less stress to just be able to use something where we wouldn't have to worry about it quite so much. But on the other hand, moving, is a really expensive process, and so like any opportunity to save some money will be good, will be important. So we'll probably have to go with whatever is cheaper, but in the end, we'll see. Anyway, it's certainly quite the process, and I think, like, on the one hand, I'm looking forward to it because there'll be a lot of cool things to look forward to. On the other hand, it's going to be quite the stress. It'll be a really stressful time, a really trying time, but you gotta have some change now and then. So ultimately, change is good, as they say, so some good things will come of it, I'm sure. Let's see. Would you do Comic Cons if you move back to the US? Yeah, Kale, that's one thing that I'm expecting will be a good point about moving back to the US, is that, yeah, I will be there actually in the country and be able to attend more stuff like different conventions and things like that. Living here, is that correct? Yes. That's correct. Living here in Korea, I'm not able to like really feasibly attend a whole lot of different conventions and stuff, just because like for the event to bring me out, like that's going to be really expensive. Like to fly in a guest or a judge or whatever it is, speaker or whatever for the event. To fly someone in from Korea is a lot more expensive than to fly someone in from Florida. Hi, Sophia. In Chile. Thank you for the hugs. I miss all you guys there in Chile. Hopefully we'll be able to see you guys all again there next year. Finding a house, but yeah, so doing more stuff like attending more conventions and stuff in the US will be a good point, of course, and then just like I'll be working actually at USA Gundam Store, so that'll be cool. I'll have my own space there, and we'll be able to do some more cool stuff there, working with Adam and all the staff there at USA Gundam Store. So there'll be a lot of cool stuff, and then just like, everything else, everything and anything else. There's no Gundam base in the US though. Yeah, Reese Boys, to be honest, like we have a Gundam base here in Korea, a few of them, of course. But I don't really go to the Gundam base here in Korea, actually, very often. I don't really go to many Gundam shops here in Korea anyway. Although there's not a lot, there's a few, mostly in Seoul. But I live like on the opposite side of the country from Seoul, so I don't really go to them very often. And then when I do go to Seoul, I guess like I'll go to Gundam Base if I have a coupon, and usually do have a coupon, so I do sometimes go, I guess. But my point is that like it's not like necessarily my preferred place to shop for Gunpla here in Korea. I just do it kind of like because I usually have coupons there. I don't know. Anyway, I'm not too worried about the fact that there's no Gundam Base in America. So yeah. And Kale said, would I be losing to you at build contests though? I think if I'm attending different events and stuff there in the US, it'll be probably more likely that I'll be going there as a judge than a participant. So I think you wouldn't need to necessarily worry too much about competing against me. But even if you did have to, I'm sure your chances would be perfectly fine. I'm not like... First of all, I'm not the best. I'm not like the absolute best builder out there. And then second of all, I also work quite slow, so I don't think I'm very good at like competitions. I wouldn't be very good at competitions. And I think probably the reason that I shouldn't say I work slow. I work slowly because I work on a lot of things at once. Like for, maybe you guys saw my post about the 160 scale Mazinger kit. The 160 scale Mazinger Zeta kit. And after I posted that, I got a message from Strider Prime. Do you guys... I assume probably most of you probably know Strider Prime. Another Gunpla builder on YouTube. Who I've done stuff with him in the past. He participated, for example, in the Ifrit build-off that we did among a few different Gunpla YouTubers. We did the Ifrit build-off. Anyway, he sent me a message and asked if I wanted to do a build-off with him with the Mazinger kit. So I told him that, yeah, that'd be fine, because I am planning on painting that kit straight away. And I'll talk to you guys more about this later on. This is just kind of still in the very early stages, of course, but I do plan on painting the kit up straight away, but I made him promise me to work slowly on the kit, because he works a little bit faster, mostly because, you know, he will, when he's building something, he'll focus on just doing that. Whereas like for me, you know, I'm building kits and like doing reviews and live streaming and painting other kits and stuff, working on other like work in progress videos and things, and also doing like the news videos. And so there's a lot of different stuff that I do, more than just working on one particular project at a time, like, and only that until it's finished and then moving on to the next project. I'm juggling a lot of different things at once. So I said, I can't just work on something, can't just work on just that kit by itself and get it done really fast. So I'll try to get it done as quick as possible. And it's a big kit, so it's not going to be, there's no way to work on that kit quickly. But as quick as I can, I plan on working on that. But yeah, I have been thinking though about what I want to do for the color scheme, and so far I haven't come up with any ideas. So if you guys have any ideas you'd like to share, feel free to share your thoughts on that. Here we are. This thing just has the coolest weapon though. I mean, what other mobile suit has a more cool weapon than the shield Gatling gun that the Goof custom has? It's so cool. And I don't even really like Gatling guns in general, but this one is so cool. But yeah, so share your ideas if you guys have any for custom paint schemes for the Mazinger Zeta kit, because as you guys know, me, if you regularly watch my channel, I don't really like painting kits in their original color scheme. I like to get a little bit more creative with it, and so I want to do a custom color scheme for it, but so far I'm having trouble thinking of something that I want to go with for that, so we'll see. Kale said, ever talk about teaming up with Mecha Gaikotsu, or is that out of the question? It's not out of the question. I wouldn't be against it. I just haven't had any, I've never like I've never talked to him at all in any like about teaming up or anything in general. So I've just never really talked to him. I don't know him. The other problem is I don't know what it would be that we would collaborate on. I don't know. Because although, sorry, I missed something. Where was that part? Oh, I skipped over the construction of the machine gun here. Because, you know, on his channel, it's primarily just reviews. And although I do also do reviews, reviews aren't necessarily something you could collaborate on. I guess you could like have some sort of like collaboration review or something. I guess you could maybe come up with something kind of cool with that. But I'm not necessarily particularly interested in that. I'm much more interested in doing collaboration based around like, I don't know, something a little bit more interesting. So I don't know if I, you know, had some idea or something that I liked, then it could be possible. I'm not ruling out the possibility of that ever happening, but it's not just a Gatling gun shield. It's a detachable. It's detachable. Yes, Melvin, exactly right. It's detachable. So like, after you're done just blowing everyone away, you just drop it, and then you can just sweep up everyone else with your awesome sword and zappy whip. So let's see, that folds down. This part goes over the top of there, and this part on here. And you do still have this machine gun on here as well, which is one of the things that I love about the Goof custom is how, oh no, I put the camera part on backwards. One thing I love about the Goof custom is that the machine gun is not the hand itself, but it's just attached onto the arm. Whereas like with the regular Goof, it's got the actual machine gun hand, which is kind of goofy looking. It's kind of like cool, and it's got its retro appeal, but I prefer this one, how it's just a thing attached onto its arm. It's pretty cool. So let's see. It's a literal hand cannon. Yeah, and yes, Blue Griffin, yes, the color separation is really nice. So yeah, as I was saying before, like in comparison to the MG, this one is just really nice. In just the overall look, the color separation is probably the same as the MG. And I mean, it's not necessarily a super colorful kit, so it's not like it would be one that I think it would be a challenge to have it all correctly colored, even in it as an HG, but it looks good. It's a very good looking HG kit. And the MG kit is fine, but I think this one easily looks just as good, if not slightly better. Or a lot better. We'll see in the review. We'll take a look at them side by side, but let's get this camera flattened down a little bit there. I usually use a toothpick for this, but I can't see. Oh, here it is. Well, at least here's a toothpick. Oh, that's not the one. That one's not good. It's got a bunch of putty all over it. Anyway, that's enough. Kale, co-live stream build off with Mecha. So like we're both like building a kit like at the same time live. Is that what you mean? So there we go. Anyway, there's the Goof custom and the shield and the whip and all the hands and everything, and that polycap that I actually didn't end up needing, but that's okay. I'll just put that there, put that over there, put this in here. Maybe not necessarily a live build off, but probably like if it were to be anything, doing some sort of live something is probably what it would be. Some sort of live show. I don't know exactly. Hey Zach, what took longer to paint, your Mega Size Zaku or the Psycho Zaku? That's a good question. Actually, the Mega Size Zaku or the Psycho Zaku both took a really long time to paint. Probably the Psycho Zaku, because it had more colors and also just more parts. Like this, the mega size kits take a long time to paint just because it's so many parts, so huge parts. It just takes a long time, especially when you're working with a 0.3 millimeter airbrush like I have been. Now I have a 0.5 millimeter airbrush, a larger one, so painting mega size kits like that should be easier from now on. Thank God, because I do have a couple, like the Mazinger kit that I'm planning on building soon, and then also mega size Gundam that I want to paint up hopefully sometime in the next 2 months as well. So yeah, a 0.5 brush will make painting the mega size kits a lot easier. But yeah, the Psycho Zaku Master Grade kit took a long time to paint because there's so many parts and a bunch of different colors. I used, I don't know, 5, 6, 7, maybe 8 different colors on that. Some of the colors I used like for just a couple of parts. But yeah, there was a lot of different colors that went into that kit, and just a ton of parts. You have all the weapons and everything. It takes forever to paint that kit. Yeah, looks great though. I mean, this is a cool build, and I'm really happy with how mine ultimately came out. But yeah, it did take a long time. Speedball Haro says Zaku. Speedball Haro, what do you mean? I don't get exactly what you mean. Live build kit series. So you mean like we're both doing like our own live builds? I've never seen. Has he done any live builds or live stream anything? I think if I remember correctly, I think he's done live stuff in the past, but I think maybe it was only like a news video that he did live, or that was something that Kurosama has done a couple times before. I feel like one of the two of them has done some sort of like live news type video, but I don't know about like live build. I know Kurosama has done live builds, but anyway, has Mecha done any live stuff before? As far as I know, I don't know. I have a feeling like I've heard him mention something at some point that his internet is not very good where he's at, so that's why he can't do live stuff, or he's just not interested in doing live stuff. I don't know. Yeah, not as far as I know. Both pick a line of kits to do a live build with. Okay. Well, yeah. Mazinger painted as Galactus from Marvel Comics. I'd have to look at what Galactus is. I unfortunately don't know what that would look like. His internet is bar, I think. I don't know what that means. Bar. Bad. Okay. Thanks for fixing that. Mekaji said his bandwidth is crap, so you can't do live streams. Okay. Well, yeah, so then live stream would be out of the picture. And I'm not really into doing like skit stuff, like where we would have to like record ourselves doing like oh hey, like, you know what I mean, like a cheesy kind of YouTube skit where people have like their videos recorded separately, but they edit it together so it looks like they're like actually talking to each other, and it's just really corny. Not really into doing something like that either. Galactus is the tall purple dude. Tall purple dude, isn't that Thanos? I only know like whatever it has been in the movies. But yeah, I'm always a fan of purple, so doing the Mazinger in some sort of purple color scheme or something. Oh no! I just realized that we can't build this kit today. Oh, I'm stupid. I can't build this kit now because I haven't removed the nub marks and everything on it. So I think we may have to have a change of plans. Okay. Yeah, this is not ready to be built yet. Duh, I forgot. I haven't removed all the nub marks and everything on it. So here's what we're going to do. Everyone listen up, because we'll have to change our plans here on the fly, but that's okay, because I do have something else. Here we have the Destiny is ready. I was planning on doing the Destiny as a separate live stream, but might as well just build it now, because I was wanting to build 2 kits today, because we have some time. So the Eldora Doctress is not done. But so what I want to do then is I'll stop this stream and rename the stream and then start up a new stream. So if you guys want to watch building the Destiny as well, just stick around. I'm going to stop the stream for a moment and start up a new one, and then we'll just build up the Destiny instead of the Daughters, and then we'll build the Daughters later this week. So, yes, this is the HG, the recent HG, not the old one. So yeah, okay. If you guys want to watch the Destiny, then just hang tight for a moment. We'll be right back in just a sec. Bye, guys.